Oh, that's sad.
Okay. Hi, Amy. Hello from Dallas.
Hey, Susan, I was waiting for Mara to finish her. I love your room, Mara. You look like, that looks like a groovy place to work. How are you, Susan? Good to see your face.
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very well. I saw your boss at NAR.
Yes, they told me.
It was fun to see them. Hey,
Excellent.
Alex, are you going to have me do the best practices and find training materials? Was that your hope? I'm thinking. I put those in I put those in the deck.
Yeah.
Is that okay? And then
Yeah,
Brett,
just
the other
shout at me.
Oh, I don't like shouting. I'm just gonna, it's slide 10.
Slide 10. Okay, very good. Yeah, awesome. We're gonna go ahead and get started.
We can see your talk chat there if you want to switch your display settings, Alex.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second.
We don't, yeah, we see your speaker notes.
Let's see.
Welcome, everybody.
Okay. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Raymond, you look just like your photograph. I'm really impressed.
Hi, this is Christine Farley. I am returning a call that somebody left me a message.
Oh, everybody still there?
Yes.
Okay, just trying to figure out the session that I'm in here. Okay, let's see. Let's try this. Share.
Alex, you usually can change it right on top.
Yeah. Share. How's that?
I don't know, go to, yeah, perfect, man, perfect.
Everybody see it okay? Well, welcome everybody. Thank you, Amy, for getting us set straight. Welcome to our MoxiWorks hours for December 2nd. This is our second to the last of this year, our fourth session actually. So if you are new to our MoxiWorks hours, welcome. We hope to have a ton of content for you today. And as you can see, this is called MoxiWorks Hours Essentials. So you can bet that we are going to have more advanced type sessions in the future. But for now, we are trying to get everybody up to speed on the basics. And I'm going to try to mute. Oh, thank you very much. If that's Debbie, thank you for helping us out there. For those of you who don't know, this session is being held twice a month, usually every other Thursday, excuse me, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Each session is titled MoxiWorks Hours Essentials, but different content. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. Even though the title's the same, the content's going to be different. We are trying to use the same registration link today and going forward. Okay, so in the future, once we start compiling our list of sessions for 2022, we'll have them all available so that you can register for multiple sessions all at the same time. Okay, and then be on the lookout on your band portal for more descriptive information as to what we're actually covering on each one of those sessions. So just want to make sure that everybody on this call, congratulations on launching the Moxie platform, the MoxiWorks platform. The main takeaway here is that we are trying to give you information that you haven't covered or learned via your launch training, right? Either for those of you who are leadership team or admins, the leadership training, as well as the agents. Those of you who are agents or producing agents.
Got to color all brown,
If we can get everybody muted, that'd be fantastic. And thank you, Debbie, if you're muting for us, that's great. So by attending these MoxiWorks hours, our goal is to have you continually sharpen your skills and hopefully walk away with a minimum, a couple of golden nuggets of information, tips, strategies, best practices. And you heard Amy, those of you who chimed in earlier or logged in earlier, she's going to talk about some best practices. So in short, we want to help you make the MoxiWorks platform part of the way you're doing business not just training you, but also how to incorporate it into your mode of operation, right? Your business practice, how you go about doing business on a day-to-day basis. So we understand that many of you are, you're busy trying to close transactions, right? And to add another technology training class to the mix, kind of crazy sometimes, but we feel that we are going to offer you something that is going to really make a difference, right? That's our goal, is to provide compelling value for each and every one of you. Okay, so here's our team. Just wanted to kind of reintroduce us. My name is Alex Castro. I'm going to be co-hosted with Amy Charot. Amy, would you like to say hello?
Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon to those on the East Coast.
Excellent. And Brett, are you on the line? Debbie, are you on the line?
I'm here. Hello,
Brett.
everybody.
Thank you, Brett. And Debbie, are you on the line?
Hi, I'm here too.
Thank you. Debbie's our person that's muting everybody to kind of minimize
Yeah.
the background noise. Thank you, Debbie, for
What
that.
a good role I play.
That's
I'm
right.
shutting
No,
everybody up. Alex, just so you know, I have no control over the polls, but I hope Amy does today.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah, thank you all. This is your team, your MoxiWorks engagement team. We're going to be co-hosting, co-presenting for you today. We are also going to be fielding some of the questions in chat. So if you have a question, feel free to put that in the chat window. If you'd like to hold off and ask your questions live, feel free to write it down so you don't forget. And you can ask those questions when we unmute or allow you to unmute yourself during the last 5-10 minutes of the call. Remember, this call, our whole idea is to share best practices, strategies, right? Tips, tricks, new information, not intended to be like, let's say, a troubleshooting platform, right? We have shared with your leadership team, and hopefully if you were on these calls previously, to go to the success portal that is at support.moxieworks.com for any and all of your issues that you need to report. The reason why we bring that up is because it's very important that you don't get disgruntled with something that may kind of be like a little hiccup somewhere, but you get your questions answered, and we can track it by you getting a ticket, right? So when you call in for a ticket or you submit your ticket via the online support.moxieworks.com, you should get a ticket. Okay, a couple other housekeeping items. Just want to make sure that everybody realizes that if you are registered for these calls or any future call, you will get a recording link as well as any supporting documentation in a follow-up email. All right, so keep in mind when you type in chat, those notes, those questions, those comments are all going to be recorded, made part of this recording. Okay, so here's our agenda for today, right? We're going to talk about supporting your MoxiWorks journey. I'm going to go quickly over that. Just make sure that everybody's in sync with that. MoxiImpress best practices.
Doesn't matter.
That is our focus today. And we got lot of good information. I think Brett's going to go actually live into the system to show you some really cool stuff. And finding training materials, I'm going to quickly go over that just to make sure that you know where to go for support. 15 minutes of MoxiWorks. We're going to again talk about the product, and I think that's when we're going to go live. Q&A, like I mentioned earlier, we want to give you some ample time to ask your questions live. And if you'd like, jot any questions that you have in the chat window, and we can address that at the end as well. Okay, so who, what, why, how, all the right 5 W's and H as we call it. Why should you attend? Okay, number one, we just want to give you compelling value as to why this technology, why and how it can help you. And by listening in on these bi-weekly calls, you should walk away with some additional, like, oh my gosh, those aha moments, as we call it, right? That can make a difference with capturing another deal or two extra. Okay, why it matters is you want to go into this in too much detail, but in future calls, let's say in 2022, we are going to have scheduled some other subject matter experts, other experts in the field that are going to share how they use MoxiWorks in their day-to-day business practice. Okay, so that you could learn from them as well as about other product information. Support, really key, support.moxiworks.com. Everybody should have that. Everybody should visit that. Actually, quick question in chat. Have you visited that? Actually, I do have a poll question for that. Let me pause for a second. How's that? And I'm going to see, Amy, can you launch the poll?
It is launched.
Thank you so much. There's 3 quick questions if you guys can participate. This is the audience participation part. We just want to gauge our audience. 3 quick questions. They're totally anonymous. First question, how many presentations have you created so far? We just want to get a feel for how our audience is using the platform up to now. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be receiving the productivity pack either in the next couple of weeks, or most of you will be receiving it in this, like the 3rd week in January or later. Okay, but we just want to get a clue as to right now how people are using the Moxie Present product of the MoxiWorks suite. Okay, so that's the first question. And what best describes your role? We just want to make sure that we understand who is attending our calls. And have you visited the success portal? And that's what is on this screen, right? Support. And that is the support.moxiworks.com. Have you visited that site yet? That web page, support.moxiworks.com. We just want to know, because that is a huge resource for everybody. And how are we doing on the percentage wise, Amy, on the participants in our little survey there?
We're at 74%.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much for participating. Anybody else going once, going twice? And then Amy, if you could end that poll, share the results, and maybe if you can kind of summarize any key findings that are kind of interesting to highlight for the group. Since I can't see it, Debbie can't see it.
I don't know I got the right today, but I'm honored. 33% of the people attending today have not created any presentations.
Okay.
33% have. And
Okay.
15 have 1 to 4, and 15% have created 5 to 10. And there is that outlier, our top 3% who have done 10 plus. And we have some people who have said none because I haven't done training. So those numbers are pretty low.
Okay.
So that's pretty exciting. Someone did say that they missed the agent training for Moxie Present. In a minute, let me finish your poll and maybe you could address that, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Amy.
Which describes your role. 59% are agents.
Very good.
Yep. We have some newbies here. We have 8% are brand new to the industry. And then we have a great mix of admin trainers, office sales managers, marketing, and IT. It's kind of split equal. Product champions as well. We also have 46% have not visited the portal. 41% have, and this is interesting, 10% aren't sure, and 3%, what is it? So if you could address those 2 questions, what the heck is it?
Very good.
And the
very
first
good.
one, if you could, that would be great.
Yes, real quick, regarding number of presentations, how many have you created? I think it goes without saying is that if you don't utilize a platform, you're not going to learn it quickly, right? We can train you as much as we possibly can, but if you don't go and get your hands dirty, so to speak, right, go into the trenches, deliver these, you're not going to learn, right? Case in point, and I'm sure Brett and Amy can chime in as well. During the holidays, it's a perfect time where your customers, your clients, your sphere of influence want to hear from you, right? During the holidays. It may not even be a real estate related presentation. It could be a holiday presentation that you're creating and just sending out to them. Okay, so we encourage you to everybody get into that 10 or more category on that survey so that you can feel comfortable, at least right before you're going into 2022, hit the ground running with, firing off those CMAs, those buyer tours presentations, those listing presentations, right? So that you're very, very comfortable creating those. In terms of new to the industry, those of you, you're going to feel like, oh gosh, this is great. It's always been like this. You don't have any real idea what to compare this to. So you are lucky, those 8% of you who responded. For those of you who are, I think the majority on this call are agents, thank you for registering. You want to share this, the link with your colleagues, or at least share the link of the recording with your colleagues so that they can also participate. Those of you who have not yet visited, I think almost half of you have not visited that, what you see on the support.moxieworks.com. Please do so. It has a wealth of information. If you like videos, if you like hot tips, if you like screenshots, if you want to know what's coming on around the corner, like I mentioned to you, you are going to be receiving the productivity pack in a couple weeks for some of you, maybe in a month and a half, 2 months from now, a lot of you on this call. What is that productivity pack? Moxie Engage, CRM, Moxie websites, right? Moxie Talent, okay? Huge, you can get a jump start and go through the videos on that support.moxieworks.com. Okay, there's hot tips, there's articles. So you want to take advantage of that. Any questions? Here is a document that we're going to send to you. You don't need to, you can't read this probably on your screen, but this is how we support you. But basically it says, you can see, hopefully, the support.moxieworks.com at the very top, that hyperlink. Everybody should visit it. Hopefully next time when we ask this question, everybody is going to select, yes, I visited that support.moxieworks.com website. Lots of cool information. It's got everything that you can imagine about the platform. I can't emphasize that enough. All right. It's going to have, again, look at this, product information, right? Case studies. It's got a lot, right? If you are just brand new. Oh, and before I miss this, the person that did not receive their agent training, put your name in chat, the company name, and so that we can get that link to you, or you want to ask your product champion that is at your office. So your product champion, if you're an agent, right? I think you, Amy said that you're an agent who missed the agent training for MoxiImpress or Moxie Present. Ask your product champion for that recording link. They should have it so that you can basically catch up and watch that. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Everybody on this call, Moxie Present, MoxiImpress. Hopefully you're taking advantage of that. So the half of you, or maybe a third of you who have not created a single presentation yet, now's the time to learn, right? Hit that 2022, hit it out of the gate, right? New year, right? We want to start the year off like gangbusters. What's coming around the corner? Moxie websites, Engage, Talent. This is known as the productivity pack, right? Moxie Engage. Some of you are waiting. Well, I want to wait for my CRM before I start sending anything out to anybody. No need to wait. You can take advantage of the technology today. Yes, Moxie Engage is right around the corner. Like I said, support.moxieworks.com. You can find a good deal of information, screenshots of, there's a video as to how you set it up, right? And all the cool things about like neighborhood news and all these other cool benefits that you have. Okay, so Amy.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to continue share my screen, or did you want to share your screen?
No, you can just share yours. I'm just going to do so I'm going to just do about 5 minutes of quick tips, and then we're going to go and have Brett do live, a really great session. And then after that, we're going to come back for your Q&A. We're definitely going to have time for Q&A today, which is great. So we haven't done much on these sessions with MoxiImpress. our last session in 2 weeks is going to be on MoxiImpress, so wait for that. But we had a couple tips. And the first one, we already talked about, support.moxieworks.com. There are a ton of videos on how to use MoxiImpress. So please go visit there and let us know next time we meet that you were there. But the other tip is the email. Whenever you get a listing, whenever you put a listing into your MLS, whenever you do a price reduction, whenever you have an open house that you put in MLS, and when you close, you're going to get 4 separate emails sent to you that has all of the marketing that you need for that aspect of your listing to go forward. So if you have a listing, make sure you've checked out this email or find someone who has a listing to see what an automated marketing package looks like. So you'll notice on the screen capture of the email, the top of it gives you some prescriptive stuff you can do really quickly, like get the word out. There's a Facebook post, you download it, you share it, bam. Next, notify the neighbors. There is print and digital materials there for you. And then last, post an ad. If you want to get a little bit more involved, if you're doing a lot of social media marketing, that one. But on the bottom is each piece individual. Whenever any of those 4 aspects of a listing happens, we give you social media posts for many of the social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Then there are e-postcards if you would like to distribute those. There are a virtual tour. It takes all the photos from the MLS and it creates a virtual tour for you if you don't have one of your own. There's a single property website. I love this. This website has a call to action on it. How about sharing that on your social media?
Hello, Kuliti. Good morning.
Or sending.
Good morning, Marianne. How are you?
Oh,
could-
good. Thank you. And you?
Hi, Maria. We need you to.
Doing good.
Yeah, nothing, like scary or anything.
Okay, I muted her. So here's the thing with a single property website. If you want to send something interesting to your sphere, your past customers, send them an email saying, hey, just got this new listing. Do you know anybody? But the beautiful thing is there is a call to action on this single property website. And when they click on it, guess who gets the lead? You. It's amazing. And of course, if you want to pay through Express Docs to create flyers or postcards, you can do that. Very excited about this. So watch for it if you have listings. Like I said, if you're newer, you don't have a listing, go find an agent in your office that has listings and you can see this. So the next piece with Impress, I think that's what I'm doing, the next one on, is this. We have these automated packages for you. But if you don't have a listing right now, or you want to change or enhance the pieces that have automatically been created for you. And remember, your brands, did not happen in a vacuum. Your brands worked with MoxiWorks to create these curated pieces for you. So whoever your brand is, they had a hand in it. But let's say you want to tweak it just a little bit more. You can go into MoxiImpress, which you access through your login, and you can go in and create your own digital marketing, print marketing, and social media marketing pieces on your own using brand assets. We're going to teach you more about it next week. That's my MoxiImpress tips, Alex. And I do have one other section, I think, on training materials. But anything you wanted to add, Alex, before I move on?
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize, right? When Amy said automated, okay, these are links and printed copy and electronic copy are automatically created for you. However, the key that I think we should underline is that you need to do something with it, right? Amy mentioned, right? I think on the previous screen, the actual buttons that you can kind of, okay, I want to share this on social media. You have to click on those. You have to take that next step. Okay, because, and then some of you are going to say, well, you know what? My listing sells in a couple hours. Perfect. Right? It's perfect because, yeah, we know that your listing is going to sell in a couple hours, but guess what? What about that next deal that you need to get or want to get? That next listing that you want to get, right? So your sphere has a copy of, oh my gosh, Amy's going to do all of this for me, right? Yeah, your listing is going to sell in a couple hours. And yeah, even if you don't do anything that Amy's suggesting on this email, it's going to sell. But we're not really, right? It's not only this listing, but future business. So that's what I want to underscore. That's what we all want to get after, right? Is business going forward. So that's all I just wanted to add. Thank you, Amy. And training materials.
Yeah, so quickly, I just want to remind you all that there are already materials in your brand universities. When you go to your brand university, you can go to the next slide, Alex.
Yep, sorry about that.
No worries. What I would recommend when you go into your brand university, on the left-hand nav bar, it says home, and the second button down says learning library. When you click on learning library, a search screen shows up on the right. Put in the word Moxie, and all of these self-paced trainings will show up. This is different than the training that you got when you first launched. So they now have in there websites, engage, impress, and present. When you go in and click learn more, you will have e-learning. There'll be tip sheets. Great to get going and getting prepped on all of these. I just want to let you know that starting in first of the year, well, I'm not sure when in January, but we're going to be also running tandem, a whole series on the new CRM, which is Engage, which is amazing. So we have training on Present and Impress, and we will be starting the CRM training. So go in and get you're going to have some downtime. It's really good. Search Moxie, do it. The other thing is once you click on one of these learn more buttons, let me show you what you'll see. So it'll bring up a screen and it'll have, usually it says overview, participant leadership. You can click on any, but you're a participant. And remember, if you want to remember where this link is, see where it says email to a friend, put your email address, or if there's someone else who could benefit, email them that link. But then as you click on participant under, I'm showing you MoxiWorks Engage here, but the next one I think I have is Impress, my last slide, I think. Nope, it's still Engage. You'll see it says Get Started Guide. It's an amazing checklist. You can print it if you want, but I actually like it as a PDF because there's links in it. And if you really want to leverage Engage, which is going to be the CRM, you can have that. Plus, you'll notice it then in the middle of the screen says Access Self-Paced. Realogy has hired amazing e-learning specialists who have created wonderful e-learning training for you. Please take advantage of this. Just go to your university through your brand portal, and it's there right now. Last but not least, on the leadership side, you'll notice that if you are not an agent, but you're in the leadership role, which half of our audience is today, we give you some tools on how to actually leverage the training to make sure that your people who work for you and your amazing sales associates can use the materials more effective. So you'll notice we have a manager checklist and a content admin checklist. And that's basically it. This is a little bit of repetitive, I think. So I'm done, Alex. You can move on.
Thank you, Amy.
Oh, wait a minute. Someone added these. Oh, I apologize. I have one more slide. I didn't even think about it. I just wanted to show you an example. When I remember I was mentioning you can print those guides. What I would recommend is that you keep them somewhere on your desktop as PDFs, because you notice what's there, it's links. So maybe you can put yourself on a plan to start working with these things, or maybe you need training at the last minute because you go, oh my God, I need to do this. I need to edit it. And I forget how. You can just come into these guides and click on those links and it'll bring you right to that piece of training. So this is beautiful. Now, yeah.
Sorry, Amy.
No. There was a question, Alex, about a MoxiImpress training recording. We have that too, correct? So if you did not, if let's say when your company launched, you went to the Present training, yay, but maybe with all the craziness, you didn't attend the Impress training. Let us know if you didn't go to that. We'll send you that. That you always want to start that first training, that video, the Zoom. And then after that, this all will fill in the blanks And of course, we want you here every 2 weeks because we're going to give you even more cool and groovy stuff like we're going to do today.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. Yeah, and just to kind of dovetail on what Amy said, during the holidays, some of you, right, maybe aren't as busy. Great time to take and search through and click on these links. We are going to send you these Getting Started with MoxiImpress, Getting Started with Moxie Present as a follow-up email along with that recording link. But now is the time for you to get used to the platform with those products, because guess what? I mentioned earlier, around the corner, you got Moxie Engage, Moxie websites to learn. Okay, so rather than wait and have all of it all at once, right? You're kind of spreading the learning curve, out so that it's a lot easier to digest. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of add that. And Brett, we have some 15 minutes of MoxiWorks. We just wanted to give Brett, he's going to talk to you about some Moxie Present custom pages.
I am. Was that my intro? Hi, everybody. So today what we're going to talk about is the ability to create custom pages within Moxie Present. Now, in a few of our previous calls, we've shown, there's quite a bit of materials that come with Moxie Present. If you create a buyer tour or a list, seller presentation, whatever it may be, there are certain pages that are default that come in, and those are either going to be calculating sales prices, et cetera. But one of the things that I love about Moxie Present is it really is PowerPoint for real estate. You can create pretty much anything in there. And so we thought what we'd do is give a couple examples as to how you can use custom pages, both from an agent perspective and a marketing perspective as well, including the ability to add attachments, the ability to add a link, the ability to add video, and much more. So I am going to share my screen, which is, they always say that that you shouldn't ever go live or work with children. There's no children today, so we'll hopefully going live will be fine. So can you confirm, Alex, that you see my very outdated headshot right now?
Yes, we do. And Brett,
Yes,
camera.
yes, we do.
You need your camera, Brett.
No, I can't really do the camera because if I'm doing this in the screen share, it will slow down to a crawl.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
see this
Sorry about
handsome
that.
gentleman.
I promise you, I am dressed and I did kill my hair today. So, so let's begin. I'm just in a regular presentation. It works the same no matter which one you have. So I'm going to show you the easiest thing to do first. So if you click on Add Page, every time you do that, yep, yes.
I'm sorry. I apologize, but let them know what you're training, because I don't think we did the slide that showed them. We didn't get to the slide that showed them what you're presenting today. So
it was on my screen, so I don't know why. But yeah, so basically what we're showing today is a variety of different ways to create custom pages within Moxie Present. And I'll show you a couple different things you can do with them, a couple different types of rich media, etc. So the easiest way to create a new page in Moxie Present is to upload a PDF. So if you're a marketing team that have created some great marketing assets, or an agent that have quite a few PDF marketing assets, maybe it's talking about a charitable campaign you're doing. Maybe you have brand assets that are in a PDF format. It's very simple to add them as pages. So all I'm going to do is hit Create New. And you can see we have two different options: build page, which we're going to play around with here afterwards, or just upload PDF pages. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. And then we just choose our file. And so I've got a little thing right here, which is just a Moxie PDF. Note that it is a upload limit of 50 pages. And then when you upload it, the page will not only be added to this presentation, but it'll then show up in your page library as well. You can see that right now my default is to save it to my Pages area. So I'm going to go ahead and hit upload. And you can see that it's whirring away now. And I picked a PDF that didn't have too many pages so that you could, it wouldn't take too much time. But what it's doing now is it's basically converting those into 4 different pages that will now show up in this presentation. And part of the reason I really like the fact that it does this is typically if you're going from just kind of a static PDF presentation and you're wanting to kind of jazz it up a little bit by incorporating MoxiPresent, there may be some pages that you replace. So for example, maybe you have a page in a PDF that shows a bunch of testimonials in terms of here's text. Well, if you're the ability to add video, maybe you delete that page and add in a video right there and there. So instead of people reading what people are saying about you, they get to see them firsthand. So you can see that this example, it's literally brought in every page, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and separated them. So if I decided, oh, I don't really want page 3 in there anymore, I can remove it. So very quick and easy way to add files into your media library and to create pages from a PDF. And as I said, it will work from 1-page PDFs all the way up to a 50-page PDF. So that's the quick and easy way to create pages. But you know what, let's talk about the page builder because I think it's very robust and I've seen some really cool examples of what you can do with that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that add page button again. I'm going to create new, and this time I'm going to build a page. Now, when you do this, you get 5 default options of what the page layout looks like. If you don't see what you're looking for, don't worry, because you actually, no matter which ones of these you create, you have flexibility to be able to add additional sections to that page at your discretion. So I'm just going to pick this one right here and hit create. And you can see what I have is now 3 different boxes where I have the ability to, in each one of those boxes, to add either text, an image, video, or more. And under more, if you've used Microsoft Word, it might actually look kind of familiar to you. You'll see we again have the image, the YouTube, but there's some other cool things that are here. For example, being able to embed media or embed an iframe, insert an attachment, insert a link. And then you can see we've got various formatting controls here. And then last but not least, source code. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can do that. So let's just make up a sample page here and pretend that that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit clear. And let's just add some header text. So this is the easiest thing to do. I hit text. And now I'm just I've already got some things typed out here. So I'm going to copy and paste in there. All right, so you can see we've got our text here. And if you've ever used Microsoft Word, you can, I'm sure, handle this. So right now I can take a look and say, okay, I want that text centered. Let's go ahead and make it bold. And then for format, it's not intuitive, but format's actually the size of the text. So, okay, that's large. I like that. That looks pretty good. All right, so for the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add some text here as well. So we'll just go ahead, and here we've got some more text I'm going to copy in. We'll go ahead and make that a little bit bigger here. Ooh, not that big. That should work pretty well right there. All right, now I want to add an image here just to maybe talk about, since we're talking about a city. By the way, if you're unfamiliar, Frisco is a city in Texas. I'll go ahead and hit image for this one. And what it will do is it'll actually bring up your image library. So anytime you've uploaded things before, it's going to show right there, but I'm just going to go ahead and upload an image here. So if I click on upload, like you would imagine, you just kind of go through your desktop, find the image you're looking for. Okay, that's a nice one there. And I'll go ahead and click add. And there it is. Now, when we have an image, we have a couple different things we can do with it. We can have it go left or have it go right. We can have it centered in the area that you're looking at here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this text bigger so that I can give you a better example. So now you can see we have white space on either side of these 2 matching columns. So now you can see I can either have it show up all the way to the left. I can have it show up all the way at the bottom of the square. I can have it show up at the top or just put it right there in the middle. So it does give you an idea of what you can do there. I have the ability also to add an image caption, which is great. And then last but not least, I can add a link right there. I'm going to save the link for a little bit later. So as you can see, very simple to add photos. Now I'm just going to shrink this back down so that we aren't constantly having to scroll. What I want to do now is we'll add a new section. You can see there's a trash can right there and right there next to the bottom right of each area. If you hit the plus, now I'm adding 2 new modules, and you can add up to 4 at a time. And then for sizing, you have the ability to use a slider when you have 2 to say, okay, I want most of it on the left or most of it on the right. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the middle here. So we've shown you how to add in text. We've shown you how to add in a photo. Well, let's decide, oh, the photo's nice, but let's go ahead and add video. So what I'm going to do here is hit the trash can. That would delete all content from this whole thing. Whoops, we don't want to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of people will do that, and it's the first mistake most people make, and it'll cause you problems because then you have to start from scratch. So instead, what you want to do is for the module section you're in, hit the X, and then that will clear that option right there. So let's go ahead and put a video in instead. So when you click on video, you can see that we have the options. It will natively support adding a video from YouTube, Vimeo, or Dailymotion. And so I'll pop over to YouTube, and here's a nice little Frisco, Texas virtual site tour. I'm just going to click that share button. And as you guys, most of you probably know, if you hit share, that will give you access to the link for that video. So I'm just going to copy that link, paste it in my URL right here, hit add. And you can see that it automatically puts that video right there. So super easy to add videos. This is something that in terms of getting agents used to using Present, one of the first features they should get used to doing is if they don't already have a YouTube channel, they should create a YouTube channel. And that can be where they put a lot of their content, because that way, when you as the agent, if I'm sharing content out, yes, some things are going to be like from the Frisco Chamber of Commerce, et cetera. But if you're then sharing videos that are in your YouTube channel, you know, if they click on this YouTube button, it will go to that actual YouTube page. And that way you're keeping them kind of in your ecosystem. So super easy to add video. It's literally just a couple of button clicks. Now let's go ahead and talk. We've talked text, we've talked image, we've talked video. I'm going to hit more. Now, one of the really cool things that you can do with Moxie Present is the ability to embed source code. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this, there are various different programs that allow you to access and embed group of text. BombBomb, for one, has that ability. Another one you'd see is Google Maps has that ability. Matterport has that ability. And using that source code, you can actually embed these rich media assets into any presentation you're working on. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to embed a Google map right into here, right? And so just because I'm a little bit OCD, I'm actually going to put it over here on the right. So if you hit source, you're going to see that it just opens up a big old blank space. Okay, so what do? Well, we go over to Google Maps. You can see I've got Google Maps here, and I'm just going to click on the name Frisco. And when you do that, Google Maps gives you some quick facts about the city and gives you some information, but you'll see that over on the far right, there's an option for share. Now, if I click that share button, you can see that I can either send a link or embed a map. So I'm going to click on embed a map. And all you have to do is click that copy HTML button. And you can see that it now says copy to clipboard. I'm going to go back to my Moxie Present, and I'm going to right click, paste. Okay. Now, once you've done that, at first, what you're going to see is a box that says iframe. Now, this is so you can finish creating where exactly you want this to show up in the actual section of the module. So for me, I usually like to have it centered. Maybe you want it right of center or left of center. I'm just going to have it centered right there. Okay. Now, once you're done, you're going, oh no, well, where is it? Well, actually, it will show up once you save and name the page. So that's when it will bring in that coding and you will actually see that map show up. So let's just go ahead and do that up here. So I'm going to hit save. And we're going to say, welcome to Frisco, Texas. I'm too lazy to come up with a description, so I'll have the same thing. And now I'm going to hit save. And now if I go in, you will see that it is now changed to that embeddable map right there. So you can use this for subdivisions, however you might have things divided up. So for example, if I go back to my Google map, you can see that one of the things Google Maps has is, Frisco Commons Park. So you can pick different destinations for them, or I can click on, scroll out a little bit better. And here's Little Elm. So maybe I want to talk a little bit about Little Elm. Well, then you can just share that portion. So it's really pretty cool. Phillips Creek Ranch here. You can see that this is more of an area. So if I want to share that, it talks about what that is as well. So you have a lot of cool options in Google Maps that will allow you to share certain parts of a map. And MoxiPresent will allow you to embed any of those into your presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And once I hit the X, I'm out of there. And you can see right there, there's my page as it looks. And you can see that we have the video right there. If I hit that, you'll see it actually will start playing eventually. Likewise, under the maps here, oh, it actually will play. It's just because of my memory. So if I hit view web, just like any time you're sharing a MoxiPresent, our brokerage is your brokerage presentation ready. Is everybody seeing presentation ready on my screen right now, Amy?
Yes, we are. Brett.
All right. So if I scroll down, you'll see there's me. I just want to show you how they turned out. So here is that PDF that I embedded, right? You can see that it's made each one of these its own page. And now here's my little welcome page now. Well, hopefully it'll actually play here now. I've used this video a lot, and I know that it's actually online, which is good. The other thing is you can see, well, it's giving me an error message, but that's a YouTube, that's not us. But you can see right here for the map, I can actually, right here in the presentation, scroll in and out, look around, use control and move around, etc. So it is actually, while I'm looking at the presentation, super easy to use and interactive. So that is how you create custom pages. Now, we did mention one other thing, which is that it does save that. So once you've created these custom pages, if I click on add page, you can then add from library. And as I mentioned, it shows my pages, and this is where it saved them. So let's say you're doing one that you're just going to do once. You don't want to keep it anymore. I don't want it. You can go in and remove them at any time. If it's something you're going to keep, you can keep it here in your listings or in your My Pages for as long as you'd like. And then anytime you want to come in and add them, like if I say, oh, I want to add my Why Moxie Works, I literally just click add. And now if I go back to My Pages, Why Moxie Works has been added. So this is one thing that I suggest. One of the first exercises you do is if you have a YouTube page, go in and create a single page for each one of those YouTube videos. Create new, build a page, pick this one, which is just that. Create, add your video, and do that for each one that you have, and then name it what your video is named on your YouTube account. And that way, if you have videos that you're looking for, maybe this is testimonial Amy Sharu or testimonial, whatever it may be. You do that once on a rainy Saturday. And then when you go in to create a presentation, you in your library have all that rich media content that you can then create and just add from the library. And that way it will really speed up when you're creating a buyer tour or a seller tour. So do we have any questions about how to create pages in MoxiPresent? I can't see the chat, so I'm depending on you guys here. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to stop my screen share and kick
Hey,
it back.
Brett.
Yes.
Sorry, it's Debbie. I couldn't unmute fast enough. There are a couple questions in chat if you don't mind answering them.
Good. All right.
Because I can't answer them, and I think you can. But Michelle is asking, Michelle's asking, is there an easy setting within the pages for information intake to make landing pages for social media ads?
Typically, landing pages for social media ads. You can actually, it depends on what you're using. For example, actually neighborhood news. You can configure the neighborhood news widget and use that in these so that when you send a presentation to somebody, that they'll be able to sign up for neighborhood news. It would depend on what you're using. So for example, maybe if you're using a constant contact or something, if they have a way to embed a form for that ties to them, that you can do that. I believe there's help with this on the support site.
Brett, what about the websites? Wouldn't that be a page on their website? Would that be a
Yeah, that's the other thing you could do is I would usually suggest you can actually embed an iframe. So what I would do is go on your website, create the landing page on your website, and then basically make a page that is that page from your website, just running within a presentation. And I would use that in terms of driving signups. That's a good point, Amy. So in Michelle's question about source code and our widgets functional, I've found that most widgets are functional. Sometimes you have to do a little massaging of the embed code. It depends on the source of what it is. So for example, for a Matterport embed, I found that it's pretty self-explanatory and you just kind of drop it and paste it and it works fine. For BombBomb, I had to do a little bit more of a formatting to it. So it really, your mileage may vary based on what you're going to bring in, but I've literally created a presentation where you can play Pac-Man. I put a video game widget in it and you can play Pac-Man in it. So yeah, it is pretty robust. It really just, it's as good as the embedded media itself, I would say. And I'm just looking to see if there's, okay, we talked about that.
I have a question, Brett.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of recap for everybody and then kind of, if you can explain a little bit more. Okay, so you started off as a single page agent profile, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just a leftover page.
That was a leftover page. So then you added a PDF that was already existing, and then MoxiPresent pulls that 5-page PDF document or 4-page PDF document, and now it parsed it up into separate pages. So now we can kind of like manipulate it, pull things out, right?
Correct.
Page out. And then we added a cool widget, map, and another page. Okay, so now that we have this thing that we created, is this now a module or template that we add to our CMAs, or what's the best practice there? You know what I'm saying?
Sure. So this welcome to Frisco, Texas, this is the end result, right? This one page. So once I would obviously add something down here for number 4, maybe more text, maybe, make sure to check these on the map. But as I mentioned, once you've saved it, it then shows up in your library. So you can actually partition things in your library. So instead of just having my library, you can create a folder that says buyer tour assets. You can create a folder that says seller, listing presentation assets. And so that way, when you go in to create a new presentation and you want to reuse some of these things, you have quick and easy access just to be able to share them or drop them right into your presentation. So basically you build it once and then it's there to use for future presentations as well.
Very nice. Very nice. Very modular. I like that.
Yeah, you can basically, it's pretty flexible in terms of how many little units you want to add, and then you can add 3, I think it's again, up to 4 that you can add, so it does have quite a bit of flexibility to it. I've created a recruiting presentation in the past, and I was able to basically recreate the PDF or PowerPoint presentation for the company that had asked me, hey, is this possible? I basically took that an hour or 2, and I basically recreated their entire recruiting presentation PowerPoint using MoxiPresent, but then was able to add additional things that really made it powerful. So yeah, it's a very flexible tool. And as we've said over and over again, we have quite a bit of training on these things, how to embed a map. Literally, I uploaded the PDF from our website that shows how to do that. So you have a lot of support on these.
Yeah, and I think kind of thinking out loud, I'm sure some of you on the call are probably thinking, gosh, if our company, right, creates a company modular page that we can each use as a template, right? Because I'm sure your brands are going to have certain things that you can incorporate as these modular pages, and then incorporate those into your presentations, right? So that you have a company page that you can easily add to whatever presentation that you're creating.
Correct. Yeah, you're going to have your page library. You can see for me, because it's a demonstration account, basically, I've got my pages And then I have brokerage pages, which is an actual, but this would be where you guys would have things. So for example, market stats, Queen Anne, this is actually kind of a cool page if I add this. Another example of how embeds work. So this is a neat little widget that works using trend graphics. So literally 2 years ago, this page was created by a member of MoxiWorks, and they embedded the code for this particular widget from Trend Graphics. And now every single month it updates. So anytime you use it, it's going to have the most current information. So again, it's an evergreen updating type of a page there, which is really powerful. So yes, you as a brokerage can create a great library of templates that you can then share with your agents.
Now, Brett, this one page that you're showing, let's say, can that be just shared? You create that one page, right? And then, so how does an agent share that with their sphere? What's the process?
Basically, if you click on send for this presentation, I can decide whether I'm sending the presentation as the link, or I can send an actual PDF. And then under 2, this would be where they can decide who they want to send it to, their greeting and their message. The other option is what frankly, most agents will do, is if you click on the web, once you do that, it will generate this link. You can see it right there, this service, presentation, web, etc.
Yep.
That you can share in an email through Engage and say, hey, this is my new market update. And that will go out to everybody. Another thing I've seen some people do, if you're really tracking, is go to a service like a bit.ly. And that way you create a custom URL for each thing you're sharing. And then you have some additional statistics in terms of who's looked at the link and how many times it's been accessed, et cetera. So there's a variety of ways that you can share it.
On the recipient, Brett, and I think this is my last question. Okay, so that link that you copied, right? That one that you just showed, is that going to appear as a link in the email, or is it going to be like a clickable video that I can start, oh, wow, this is a cool graph. Let me click on it.
It actually, the presentation itself will show up as the actual presentation. It does come in when you send it that way. And you can see when I hit 2 and I'm just typing in names, guess where these names are coming from? You got it, my contacts and Engage. So here is my, I'm going to say I want to send it to these 3 people. I can do that. Let's say I want to send it to past buyers for groups. It automatically brings that in from Moxie Engage. So
sweet.
Yeah. So I would send this, but these actually aren't real clients because this is a demo. This is actually the actors who played Chewbacca, Boba Fett, and Darth Vader. Your Star Wars trivia for today.
Very good, Brett. Thank you so much. We got a couple minutes. Thank you. I just wanted to wrap things up. Amy, did you have anything to add? Debbie, any questions that in chat?
Just that the recording will be available if you didn't take notes, because there's some stuff I'm going to go watch again. Thanks, Brett. And we'll see you in 2 weeks when we go over Impress.
Yeah. And then Amy, if you wouldn't mind, if you can put up our closing poll, and anybody have additional questions that you'd like to unmute your mic. I'm sorry, we only gave you like a couple minutes to be able to ask questions. Anybody like to ask questions of Brett regarding what he just showed us? I think that's awesome. And I think it's a great, right? When you see that, it's like, oh my gosh, our agents can use this, especially during the holidays. They can create these modular pages or create something in their library and start using them. Make it, so that they can start going forward. They can pull things like, oh, okay, we got a company page. I have my personal page with YouTube videos on it, things like that. Any questions? If not, thank you.
Yeah, you
Amy.
can ask.
Hey, I have a question.
Sure.
Wait, when you were showing when he was sent it to multiple recipients, is that a BCC sending?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes,
Does it say
it won't turn you into that agent in your market that sends out market updates, and then you can literally take their CC list of 1,000 names and add it to your database. No, it does it as blind. Yes.
Does it show that as a BCC or Because I didn't see where it was showing.
No, it
that.
doesn't show it that way. It's just how that's. It's how
Okay,
the
if you
system
send it to
works.
multiple ones, that's how it goes.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Great question.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Additional questions? Thank you, everybody. Amy, I'm not sure, were you able to launch that poll?
It is launched and we have 56%.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a totally anonymous poll. We just want to use this so that we can, moving forward, address the topics that people are asking for. Yes. So thank you all for participating. Please spread the word. Help us spread the word to your other agents in your office about attending these MoxiWorks hours. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jabby, for helping. And thank you all for participating in our call. And we'll see you in 2 weeks on December 16th, our last one of the year. See you guys later. Take care. Be safe. Thank you. We'll see you, Michael. And
See you, buddy.
Michelle.
Thanks
See you,
for being
Michelle.
here.
Yeah, talk to you guys later.